like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So here's your review of AEW Rampage and Dynamite week commencing the 13th of October. And Rampage is the week prior if you're in England. So it starts with Ricky Starks versus Vance in a great match. Being there, and Ricky Starks got the victory. Then we have Chris Jericho calling out Tonoski. Tonoski, I believe, I always butcher his name. So we'll see what happens there. Then we have Jay Lethal calling out Eddie Kingston, and then Ortiz pulls up, basically starts running his mouth, and then he gets jumped by Team Lethal, Team Jeff Jarrett, whatever you want to call them. Then we have Ruby Soho versus Red Velvet. I'm about to say Velvet Sky. I think that's TNA. No, Red Velvet in a great match. But in the end, Red Velvet actually gets the victory. So congratulations to her. Then we had the Kingdom versus some guys. Kingdom gets the victory. Then in the main event is FTR versus Commander and Vikingo in a great match, great tag team match. Go and watch it. But in the end, no one ain't beating FTR. FTR gets the victory. Then we go to Dynamite. So it's Hook and Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley's back in action. Good to see John Moxley back. And Wheeler Yuta in a brutal match. Obviously hard hitting. You know, when John Moxley's in the ring, he's going to be no selling some stuff. He's going to be hard hitting. And John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta gets the victory. Then John Moxley calls out Orange Cassidy after that as well. Then we have Hangman and Swerve basically having a face-off before their Texas match at Full Gear. They go back and forth, and Hangman goes in on Swerve, talking about him, how he got fired from his previous company, WWE, and how his fiance left him, and how he's a bad father to his kids. Wow, that cut deep. Swerve got really angry, and what Hangman Page, he wasn't allowed to touch Swerve or their match would be off and they'll be suspended. So instead he beat down Prince Nana instead. So Prince Nana is funny. He likes his dancing in the beginning. Who likes his dancing? Leave a comment if you like the dancing. Then we have Sky Blue versus Red Velvet. About to do it again. Red Velvet. The winner faces the TBS champions Chris Statlander, Full Gear, and Sky Blue gets the victory. Then we have Miro basically calling out CJ Perry for her antics, and Danny Garcia is basically going to pay the price for that. Then we have Samoa Joe versus some guy. Obviously Samoa Joe wins. Then he calls out MJF saying, listen, the offer's still there. If you want me to watch your back, shout me. Then we have Penta Commander versus the Young Bucks in a great match in the Young Bucks' hometown of California. Great match. The crowd were behind them until they hit Penta with a low blow, I think it was, but the Young Bucks get the victory. Then we have Kenny Omega basically calling out the Young Bucks for cheating in their hometown, said it's not a good look. And then Chris Jericho pulls up saying, don't waste time with these guys. Then we have the Gun Club versus some guys. The Gun Clubs get the victory. Then we have the Don Callis family versus Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, Kota, and Paul White, aka The Big Show, in a street fight. Really good match. Go and watch if you haven't seen it. Obviously, it's hard hitting. It's a street fight. Anything goes. But in the end, Kenny Omega gets the victory. Then we have MJF come out in the top segment of the show. He basically comes out and apologizes to the Acclaimed and Adam Cole. They're both sort of in the crosshairs of things, what's going on with MJF, and that winds up in people getting injured. So he wasn't happy about that, and said he's afraid and he doesn't want to let anyone down, is what he's afraid about. So then Jay White comes out, say to MJF, he's a liar. He's always been lying to everybody. He's really a scumbag, and he's lying to the fans, and he's not who he appears to be. And he will prove he's better than MJF at Full Gear. And then MJF gets jumped by the Bullet Club. That's it. With Samoa Joe watching on. So we will see what happens. Maybe MJF makes a deal at Full Gear with Samoa Joe. We'll see. Leave a comment.